Hello, I am Bayreen, and this is 5 minutes with the Unholy Death Knight Talent tree. Now, I'm going to be doing a set of 3 for this, because I found that it takes about 5 minutes for me to go through each tree. So I'm just going to do one video at a time, so that way you guys then are able to understand them all clearly, precisely, and I can take my time and I don't run out of breath. I have had experience in all 3 of those trees, so I will be able to tell you exactly what happens and which one affects what exactly. Now we're going to talk about Unholy. Unholy is a DPS spec. It is very good for PvP. A lot of people use it for PvP. You get a couple things. First of all, you get Scourge Strike, which is a strike that deals, well, you can see it right here. I'll leave it up long enough for you guys to actually read it. Then you also get Master of Ghouls, which allows your Raise Dead spell to actually give you a pet, instead of it just being a temporary ghoul. Then you have Unholy Might, which increases your strength by 5%. Reaping, which when you hit with Blood Strike, Pestilence, or Festering Strike, the runes used will become Death Runes. So usually those runes are going to be, the runes that become that are going to be Blood or Frost runes. And Death Runes count as Blood, Frost, or Unholy runes. And then the Mastery, which is Dreadblade, which increases all shadow damage done by 30%. And each point of Mastery increases shadow damage by additional 2.5%. So now we're going to talk about the tree. So now remember, for all trees, the first 2 rows you can actually, any of them can use once you filled out your tree. You just have to put the points in right. So we're going to talk about first one is Epidemic, which increases the duration of your diseases. Very important. Vigilance, which increases the damage done by your diseases by 30%. And then Unholy Command, which buffs your Death Grip, reducing the cooldown by 5/10 seconds, and giving it a 50/100% chance of refreshing its cooldown when you deal a killing blow to opponent that grants experience or honor. Next, you have Morbidity, which increases the damage and healing of Death Coil and Death and Decay. Resilience Infection, which is when your diseases are dispelled, you have a 50/100% chance to activate to finish the cooldown on a Frost rune or a Blood rune, depending on which disease was removed. Then you have Desecration, which causes the ground around you to cause little hands to come up, slowing your opponents by 50%. My apologies. Next row down, you have Shadow Infusion, which is a buff actually for your ghoul. Whenever you cast Death Coil, whether you're healing or whether you're damaging, you have a 100% chance to buff up your ghoul, increasing its damage by 8% for 30 seconds. And this stacks up to 5 times. So it'll be 8, then it'll be 16, and so on and so forth. Then you have Contagion, which increases the damage of your diseases spread via pestilence by 100%. Then you have Unholy Frenzy, which gives you a haste buff, but when cast, but also you lose health equal to 2% of your maximum health every 3 seconds for as long as it lasts. And this can be cast on anyone, not just yourself. Then you have Runic Corruption, which reduces the cost of your Death Coil, and it also causes your Runic Empowerment to no longer refresh runes, but instead to increase their regeneration rate. Next is Rage of Rivendare, which increases the damage of your Plague Strike, Scourge Strike, and Festering Strike. Next after that is Magic Suppression, which increases how much your anti-magic shell absorbs. And it also increases the runic power that you get when it absorbs damage. Then you get Death's Advance, which when both your unholy runes are not being used, you cannot be lowered below 100%. Now this is actually incorrect. It should be saying 75%. Blizzard just recently changed that. Next we have Dark Transformation, which when you have 5 charges of Shadow Infusion on your ghoul, you can turn it into an undead monstrosity for 30 seconds, buffing up its how much damage it deals and also giving it some new abilities. Then you have Improved Unholy Presence, which of course improves your Unholy Presence, granting an additional 5% haste. And it also, you retain 15% of your movement increased speed when you're in Blood or Frost Presence. Next is Anti-Magic Zone, which acts sort of like Anti-Magic Shell, except that it only absorbs 75%, and this can help your whole party. Then you have Unholy Blight, which is a must-have. It causes your victims to be swarmed by insects, taking 10% more damage done by your death coil over 10%, and preventing your diseases from being dispelled. Note that if you have this, that the resilient infection doesn't really apply anymore. Next is Sudden Doom, which causes your auto attacks to make your next death coil cost no runic power. So if you're dual wielding, this will cause your main hand's auto attacks. Then you have Ebon Plaguebringer, which your Plague Strike, Icy Touch, Chains of Ice, and Outbreak also infect the targets with Ebon Plague, which increases damage taken by your diseases by 30, and all magic damage taken by additional 8%. Then, last but not least, is Summon Gargoyle, which summons a gargoyle that helps deal damage to your opponents. The damage is modified by the Death Knight's attack power, and it's nature damage, so let that be noted. So thank you for watching my video. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and please tell me how I can improve my videos, so that way I can make them better quality in the future, and I will see you guys later.